Good, happy Tuesday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, New Hampshire man, woman killed when 50-mile police pursuit in Maryland ends in crash. Let's take a look. A man and woman from New Hampshire were killed when the stolen pickup truck they were in crashed in Maryland. Coincidentally, a Granite State family was caught up in the chase and forced off the road. Edward Watchfield and his family were on their way home to Manchester when they saw the flashing lights in their rear view mirror. Within seconds, they had to swerve out of the way. The family was driving on Interstate 95 in Maryland when they were forced off the road. Richfield, who has been an emergency medical technician for 25 years, recorded several videos from the side of the interstate a few miles from the Delaware border after the pursuit ended in a deadly crash in front of them. Maryland State Police were chasing a pickup truck for 50 miles. The truck was reported stolen from a driveway in Laconia last week. The man and woman in that pickup, Stephen Razal, 28 of Laconia, and Kelly Pierce, 28 of Concord, were killed. Itchfield said he's still concerned about the dangerous situation created by a high-speed chase in heavy traffic and hunted by the deadly end. Laconia police said they've actively investigated if the man and woman killed in the police pursuit are connected in any other incidents in Laconia. Joe was amazing. Widow speaks about fallen Watertown firefighter. Let's take a listen to this video from WCBB Boston.
Commerce Bank's free personal and free business checking accounts really are free. You get all these benefits and services free with no strings attached. To open yours, visit any Commerce Bank location or bank@commerce.com.
It should have been an ordinary Friday.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Whatever, he's Italian. So.
He is Joe Toscano, who went to work last Friday.
My son always goes and holds the door for him because he always has a few bags for the station. So we said goodbye, love you, and...
Wearing red. Joe always wore red on Friday for the veterans. The call came in at 10:30.
He couldn't wait to run into that building.
Word spread. Firefighter down. Maureen grabbed her cell phone.
So I texted Joe and just said, are you okay? And didn't hear anything, but I still wasn't...
Unusual,
no, I still wasn't concerned.
But the calls from the captain were.
To have gotten that phone call, I can't imagine.
No, it's devastating.
Maureen and her children went to Mount Auburn Hospital.
And when I walked in the room, or down the hall, and I saw the firefighters and the chaplain, I was like, oh, this isn't good. I walked in the room, and we knew. We just held each other. And the whole time in, we were just kind of wondering. My daughter and son sat in the back seat, just holding each other and just hoping and praying that it wasn't going to be bad.
Joe Toscano, 54 years old.
Tell me about Joe.
Joe was amazing. He just great great man.
You may remember the day that Joe passed away. The fire department said that they were actually, he was a cook, and he was preparing dinner, and he said you could prepare anything, but he's not going to do corned beef and cabbage. Of course, it was St. Patrick's Day. And what did she make for dinner that night for her family? It was corned beef and cabbage. Memorial Fund has been set up to help firefighter Toscano's family. Information on how you can donate is up right now on our website, WCVB.com. It's also on the WCVB mobile app as well. And a wake will be held tomorrow, as we mentioned, at St. Mary's Church in Randolph. That's where Joe Toscano lived. The funeral will follow on Wednesday at St. Patrick's Church in Watertown. Of course, Watertown is where he worked. The service begins at 11 in the morning, and we will stream it live on the web and our mobile app as well.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Portland City Council rejects multi-million-dollar school bond. Let's take a listen to this video from WMTW News 8.
For the Protection of Animals invites you to buy a bale and help feed the horses. Every $5 you give feeds a horse for an entire day. Thank you for helping these remarkable horses.
Portland City Council is expected to vote any minute now on a $64 million school bond proposal. And it was a packed house tonight at Portland City Hall as teachers, parents, and community members stood before the council to voice their opinions about the multi-million-dollar school bond. The funds would benefit the city's 4 elementary schools. The bond would include substantial renovations to Longfellow, Presumpscot, Lysith, and Reinke. While the majority of the people who were there spoke tonight were for the bond, there were several people who spoke out against how the bond could be a concern for taxpayer costs.
Please don't confuse the quality of the education with the quality of the building. You can learn in a barn.
How can we possibly take on this kind of a bond?
I would love it if someone would put walls in my school. Right now, all we have is walls made out of string with metal sides.
Research shows that students need to feel physically safe and emotionally connected to their school community in order to be successful.
We'll have an update on the outcome of tonight's public hearing and vote later on our website.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Tillerson's Beijing visit was a home run for China state media. China's state-run media cheered Secretary of State Rex Tillerson weekend visit to Beijing as diplomatic win for the home team. Images of XI and Tillerson standing and sitting next to each other in the Great Hall of the People dominated the main news program on at least a dozen channels across China, a sure sign that the government saw the visit as a success. Trump sidesteps Russia inquiry at rally. FBI Director James Comey and National Security Agency Director Mike Rogers testified before the House Intelligence Committee Monday about an issue long dismissed by President Donald Trump as a rules and fake news connected by his political advisors, Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election, and alleged connections between Trump associates and the country. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday. See you back here later on today. Bye, everyone.